the north of Italy, to the east of the city of Turin, there lies a land of gentle, undulating hills and smiling valleys, where a sturdy and industrious peasantry have for generations tilled their fruitful farmsteads and lived their simple lives. On the threshold of this district, perched on one of the many sentinel hills, is the tiny hamlet of the Becchi, overlooking the market town of Castelnuovo d'Asti. It was here, on August the 16th, 1815, that Giovanni Melchior Bosco was born. One winter's day in 1825, the parish priest, Don Calasso, was walking along one of the country roads when he came upon the young Giovanni, who was toiling his way homeward with a bundle of firewood. He surprised the boy in the act of freeing a bird that had been trapped in a snare.
Bravo! Well done. Come here, tell me your name.
Bosco Giovanni.
Bosco. Bosco. Why, you're Margarita's son.
Yes, Father.
Ah, I didn't recognize you. And you won't know who I am either. You were only a little child when I last visited your house, before the death of your poor old father. Bravo, Giovanni. The little fellow wants to let you know how grateful he is. What are you reading? Ah, the catechism. Bravo, bravo. So you go to school?
No, Father.
No? How's that? Why not?
Because my brother doesn't wish it.
What do you mean he doesn't wish it?
He says I have to work in the fields with him.
Charming fellow, eh? But you, on the other hand, are really keen to study.
Oh, yes.
You're absolutely sure?
Yes,
eh?
Father.
Yes? Well, now listen. One of these days, come along and visit me at the cannery. At Murialdo. Ask for Don Colosso. We'll know soon enough if you really want to study. If you do, I shall have a word with your brother. Understand? Very well. Leave the rest to me. Giovinino, don't forget now. I'll expect you.
I'll remember.
Hello, Michele.
Coming to the fair tomorrow?
Yes, I'm coming.
I'll go for you at 6 then. Shall I? Or is that too early?
No, that'll be fine. Goodbye, Michele.
Very well then. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Is supper ready?
It's just coming. Sit down now. Are you very hungry?
When a chap has to work like I do.
Giuseppe, tell Giovanni to hurry up.
He won't be very hungry. Why should he be? The little lord.
Good evening, Mother. Good evening, Granny.
Good evening, Giovanni. Come along, Granny. Supper's ready. Antonio!
I don't like having his books on the table. I've told him before.
The word bonta, or goodness, characterizes the entire life of the saint. As the vision seemed to foretell, Giovanni Bosco began to display his vocation for the priesthood at a very early age and exerted a great influence on the other boys in the district.
When Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judah in the days of King Herod, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, Where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east, and are come to adore him. And King Herod, hearing this, was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And assembling together all the chief priests and the scribes of the people, he inquired of them where Christ should be born. But they said to him, In Bethlehem of Judah. For so it is written by the prophet, And thou, Bethlehem, the land of Judah, art not the least among the princes of Judah. For out of thee shall come forth the captain that shall rule my people Israel. Then Herod, privately calling the wise men, learned diligently of them the time of the star, which appeared to them.
Don't let him get away with it!
to me. Now listen, you did all that purposely to make fun of me, and it isn't the first time you've made fun of me either.
And it won't be the last.
Perhaps, but this time I'm going to teach you a lesson.
What kind of a lesson? You're no good for anything except preaching.
Yes? Listen, if you'd ever spoken to me in this way before, we'd have had it out with our fists. Today we'll try another way.
How?
Like this. I want to teach you that a preacher needs a powerful pair of lungs, and that I'm a faster runner than you.
No,
No, you're not getting out of it like that. It won't take long. Do you see the road there? We're going to run a race on it. If you win, you can call me a bookworm. If I win...
What happens then?
In that case, you'll have to read the scripture lesson for me.
And so that winter they set forth and journeyed afar. While they were walking, a star went always before them, as if to show them the way. Before they arrived at Bethlehem, where lay the infant Jesus, they passed through the city of Jerusalem.
Non sole sed vitae descendum est. Caelum non animum mutant trans mare current.
Bravo. Very well read. There you see, we have done in 6 months what would have taken the others at least 2 years. What did I tell you? Another 6 months and you'll be ready to go to college.
But won't it cost a lot?
Ooh, well, it'll cost a little, but don't worry. We are all in the hands of Providence. But we've had quite enough of this daydreaming. We must think of the present now. For tomorrow, translate from here to here.
Yes, Father.
Understand?
Get it? The little Lord takes it easy, then becomes a great personage, while we country yokels have to do all the hard work.
Oh, do stop tormenting the boy. What's he ever done to you?
Listen, believe me, if the weather doesn't very soon improve, there'll be very little bread for us this winter. There'll only be enough for those who work for it. That's what I mean. Take a look, if you think I'm exaggerating.
The winter which followed was indeed a severe one, bringing hardship and want to the people of northern Italy.
Colosso wants to see you. He's ill. Hurry to the canonry.
Don Colosso. Don Colosso. Are you any better? Is he ill?
It's nothing. You mustn't worry. I'll soon be well. Please, ladies, leave us alone a moment. Listen. My key. Take it. It's the key of that cabinet. Look, everything you find in it is for you. There are 6,000 lira. 6,000 lira. Money to pay for your lessons.
Don Colosso.
Don't say it. And you, did you read your lesson for today?
Yes.
Very well then. Better sit down over there and read from my book. Read.
Non nobis sed patriae vivamus. Multum non dominus. Dominum mentis hominis pectorum non voltis tileo.
Well over 10 years since they were here before.
Giovanni. Come inside a moment, will you? Tell me, Giovanni, didn't Don Colosso give you anything before he died? Didn't he mention me? Or his nephews?
He gave me this key.
Ah, that's what I was looking for. Thank you.
if he really has the vocation.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
Very well, then, send him to Gary, eh? The school's there and the seminary's there. But who pays the fee?
Lord will provide.
I hope so, because with the crops doing so poorly, I'm afraid I can't afford any more. Can't be done.
May I come in?
Come in.
Papa sent this over for Giovanni. It's corn. All the neighbors are sending presents too.
Well, Giovanni, you ought to make a very good priest with all these presents, but we must be off. There's no time to waste. Come along.
Antonio!
Hello, Johnny. If I was wrong about you, I'm glad. Be a good boy.
There's your road. Goodbye, Giovanni. It only weighs 10 pounds. So the corn and the cheese together come to 2.50. The bacon 3.50. That's 6 quid a lot, eh? Yeah, 6 quid.
One scuro, 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50.
Here is the history. Here is the geography, the dictionary, and here's the Latin grammar and syntax. When you've mastered all of these works, you're going to be quite a professor, eh? Good day.
Now a long period of study began for Giovanni. In order to earn enough money to pay for his studies, he had to do many different kinds of jobs in his spare time. In this way, he learned a number of trades, which later on he was to teach to others.
Still up, Giovanni? You mustn't work all night. It's madness.
I have to work tonight. Tomorrow's examination day.
You'll wear yourself out.
Very good. More than enough, eh? Now Bosco. Bosco Giovanni. Plusquam optime. Bravo, Bosco. The Council of Professors has awarded you the qualification of plusquam optime.
Thank you, sir.
And now, tell me, what are you going to do?
I want to enter the seminary.
The seminary?
And you will find that all philosophers are agreed on this fundamental truth. That is to say, the desire for happiness is placed in us all by nature, is the alpha and omega of all our desires, and is the driving force and goal of all human activity. And now, for your next lesson, prepare the first section of Chapter 4 by tomorrow. Oh, yes, you, Bosco. I should like you to collect all the notes that have been taken and bring them to me afterwards, as usual.
Yes, Father. Come out into the courtyard and we'll have a bit of a run. There'll be plenty of time for study later. No, I'm too tired. Don't you realize that exercise is just what you need? Come on.
Bernardine of Siena shared the valor and zeal of the Blessed Virgin Coletta. The friars minor who bore the name of conventual monks, given to them by Pope Innocent IV, carried out their rule according to certain dispensations obtained from the Holy See. Bernardine, who wished to restore the strictness of the old monastic rule, founded a new branch of the Franciscan order, known as the Fratres de
Memoria feci in meraviglia suo, idere se mi già pardonus. Gloria Patri et Filii et Spiritui Sanctus. Benedictus Deus in donis suis, et sanctus in omnibus operibus sui Spiritus.
Steady. Father, Cavallo has fainted.
If I find salvation, I will return and tell you.
the seminary, Camillo had been Giovanni Bosco's inseparable companion. His death profoundly moved the robust but sensitive young man from the Becchi.
Bosco, my friend, I am saved.
2 years later, on the 5th of June 1841, at the age of 26, Giovanni Bosco was ordained priest, the ceremony being performed by the Archbishop of Turin, Monsignor Fransoni.
Accipe Spiritum Sanctum, quorum remiseris peccata remittuntur eis, et quorum retinueris retenta sunt. Schola innocentiae induat te Dominus. Promittis mi et successoribus meis reverentiam et obedientiam.
Promittem.
Pax Domini sit semper tecum.
Amen.
His first Mass was celebrated in the presence of his mother, who had made so many sacrifices for him. It was a time of economic crisis. People from the impoverished countryside were flocking to the city of Turin in search of a livelihood.
And you? Why are you here? Nowhere to go?
Yes, but I...
Oh, I see. You've done something you shouldn't and you don't wish to go home. That's the truth, isn't it? Tell me, what's your name?
Colleen.
Ah! Huh. Where do you live? Tell me, where do you live? Excuse me, where does Carlene live?
Up there.
Thank you.
Good morning. You are Carlene's mother?
Yes, why?
I've come to see him. Is he in?
No, he's not. He never is. He's in the cafe as usual. Please come in, Father.
Thank you.
You're 6, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 5, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8.
Stop, will you? Give me the card. It's my turn to deal. I tell you, you must give me the card. It's my turn.
No, I'm dealing.
But you dealt last time.
Colleen! They're fighting! My boy!
And so he wants me to tell you he didn't do it on purpose, and then it was only after you had provoked him first. Huh? Tell me, don't you believe him?
Yes, but still, it wasn't his
What
turn.
do you mean, but still? You must believe him. He's very sorry, and you really ought to forgive him. Now I'm going to see him in prison and tell him that when you meet again, you'll shake hands and be good friends.
3,
Yours. 6, 7,
8, 9,
mine.
2,
4, 6.
7, 8, 9, 10.
Hey, hold there. What a racket. On your feet. Don Bosco, shall I go and tell the others that you are here?
Yes, do. I have very good news for you, my son.
Silence there! Where do you think you are, eh? On holiday? Blasphemous bunch. Have you nothing to repent, then? Doesn't anyone here want to go to confession?
If you're talking to me, you
Shut
can
up.
save your breath.
Not even you, Rodrigo? You there. No one then, at all. I'll have to tell him. It's Don Bosco here in confession today. Hey! 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 What do you want? I want Don Bosco! 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 Don Bosco!
You hear that? Well, don't forget what I've told you, and when you get out of here, you must come along and see me. Goodbye, Luciano.
Don Bosco, do you hear him? It's the man who's condemned to death.
Leave us now.
Bosco. My son, put your hands together. Like this. Do you truly repent? Then repeat after me. Ave Maria,
Ave Maria,
gratia plena,
gratia plena,
Dominus tecum,
Dominus tecum,
benedicta.
Ah, Don Bosco, too utopian your ideas. The way the world is made, there are poor people, there are rich people.
Just the same, my dear Tony, we must do something. I am not yet quite sure what, but with the help of God, we'll manage somehow.
You there. What do you want? Have you come to serve Mass?
No, I don't know how to.
Well then, what are you doing here? What do you want? Go away, be off. Who told you to come into the sacristy without asking permission? I'll have to teach you some manners. Come along now, away with you. Be off.
Tony! Here! Don't send the boy away. Come back inside. Come in again. Come in, come along. Why, Tony, surely that's not the right way to treat an old friend of mine, eh?
Friend of yours?
Why, certainly he is my friend.
Excuse me, Don Bosco, I didn't know.
Ha, Tony. So he wanted to send you away, eh? What's your name?
Bartholomew Gorelli.
Any father or mother? Do you do any work?
When I can get it.
What at?
I'm a mason.
Ah, mason. And on Sundays, what do you do?
Nothing.
That's bad. Well, we must find a really good way for you to spend your Sundays from now on. Can you read and write?
No.
Do you know the catechism?
No.
But there must be something you can do. Can you sing?
Yes, I can sing.
Ah, splendid.
Very good indeed. Now off with you, run along and play. One moment. Quiet. Now listen. It's not yet a month since the oratory was opened, and you'll never believe the number of complaints I've had on account of your high spirit, and especially with regard to you footballers there. But understand me, I don't mean I want to see a lot of long faces. But no broken windows either, eh? Well then, all right. Now, we understand each other?
Yes.
Now run along. Enjoy yourselves. You see, Borel, this is all new to you, isn't it? But I enjoy scenes like this every Sunday. God alone knows how much goodwill it has cost me by now.
I can well believe it.
If you're going to come and help me, you'll first of all need a good pair of lungs and a great deal of patience. But most of all, good lungs. For example, listen to me. Hey, you there, you! You know you're not allowed to carry your game into that field over there because it isn't ours. I've told you before. The little angels.
Excuse me, Father, you Don Bosco?
Yes?
The police commissioner, Porter Palazzo, would like to speak to you right away.
The commissioner?
Yes.
Leaving aside the fact that only you, Father, can properly understand and appreciate the unusual temperament of 500 or 600 boys, Here's the batch of complaints I have received from some of our most worthy and influential citizens about the wanton damage done by the little devils, or little angels, as you prefer to call them. Wait, I'll read you one of them. Here we are. I wish to inform your excellency that on Thursday last, a gang of ruffians said to be under the care of a priest invaded a field of mine and trod down all my crop of prize cabbages, causing damage to the extent of at least 245 lira. Another. I wish to inform your excellency of a trespass in the orchard. The orchard, eh? By the same boys who this time pulled on over 50 yards of fencing. But there's another which is even more delightful. Ah, here it is. I wish to record that the fruit from the cherry trees in the orchard of my estate has already been most diligently picked. I don't want to distress you by reading you all the other accusations. Your Reverence, I am always willing to show every possible indulgence, but I really must warn you that if they go on sending any more of these letters, they're quite certain to succeed in arousing the attention of the municipality.
Therefore, I say it is to the municipality that we must look for assistance in putting an end to this really appalling situation, such as has never before arisen in this city. Only my strong sense of public duty moves me to accuse this priest of intending to transform his young ruffians into an organized band of conspirators. For those reasons, I propose to you with the utmost vigor that we should proceed to carry out a most thorough search in the house of the theologian Don Bosco.
Just look what a mess they've made of my room.
And you didn't have anything to say to them?
I? What could I say? Well, you see, I did persuade them that the most compromising papers I had were bills and proposed that they should pay them for me, but they wouldn't agree. Come in. What is it now? Come. From the Philippines, the Reverend Giovanni Bosco. I am sorry to have to inform you that this is an unfortunate day for our oratory. Can I do anything?
No, I don't want to disturb you.
No, please go on.
Look, Reverend, I've heard that you're in need of a new field for your boys to go in.
Yes, that's true. Why?
Because I've got a field just near here, which also has a shed, which may be of use to you.
Ah.
It's only a stone's throw from here. We can go and see it whenever you like.
Thank you. I'll come at once.
There you are, Don Bosco. There's the shed. It'll make a fine shelter for your boys, won't it?
Yes.
And my land stretches from as far as that belt of trees over there right up to this wall. Large enough, isn't it?
Yes, it is a large field. But look at your roof here. It needs repairing. Well, I'm grateful you've offered the place to me, but...
Just think what a fine opportunity it is for your boys to practice their carpentry and everything.
but they still needed the care of a mother. Don Bosco decided to go home and ask his own mother to come and help him look after them. And so, for the first time in her life, Mama Margarita left the hamlet in which she had been born.
Here we are. Come inside. Mama, what do you say? Mama, what do you think? Large enough, isn't it?
Large enough, yes, but as bare as a stable.
There, you think? We'll soon take care of that. No need to worry. While we have her with us. How beautiful she is. With her help and yours, we'll work a complete transformation. That's not it. Give it to me. Watch me do it. You see?
This single workshop was the beginning of a chain of vocational schools and colleges which have spread throughout the 5 continents.
Don Bosco has obtained from His Excellency Minister Rattazzi an entire day of freedom for us all. Now silence, silence. But remember that this day of liberty has been ordered to come to an end at 5 o'clock. 5, understand? Now I must ask you, each and every one of you, to think always of the great responsibility that he is assuming. Well then. And now, my dear Don Bosco, heaven help you.
Attention! No, no, thank you. Leave them, please. Just follow me. Come along. That's it.
Well, we shan't see them again. Shut the gates. Come inside. You see, 5 of the boys are still missing. You're too optimistic. Don Bosco, you may think the boys have just lagged behind. I tell you, I feel quite certain they've run away.
Please allow me to say that I know these boys. I might admit a moment of thoughtlessness or mischievousness, but I cannot believe that they really mean to run away.
All right. But for my part, I think it's only a waste of time to stay here and wait for them at all. Let me say I know these charges of mine. Better than you do, Father. They'll never come back.
I, on the other hand, am quite sure they will.
I hope you're right. The room is all yours. Good night and good luck.
Good night.
Don Bosco was right. The 5 boys did come back, and this event served to increase the high esteem in which he was already held by the progressive minister Rattazzi.
I hope you will live on for many, many more years. But one of these days you'll have to die, and then what will happen to your work?
Look, what I meant to do was to get together a group of picked young men who are imbued with the right spirit, who will live from now on together with me at the oratory. But with the government suppressing so many religious orders, and already talking of suppressing others, now who am I to think of founding a new one?
Don't worry. I know the laws of suppression rather well. I tell you, they just won't affect you. What you do is this. Inaugurate a society in which all members retain their civil rights, submit to the temporal authority of the state, pay their taxes, etc., etc.
In the oratory of St. Francis of Sales and in the room of the Reverend Giovanni Bosco, called by him to be here present the following: the Reverend Alicinate Vittorio, Savio Angelo Deacon, Rua Michele Subdeacon, Cagliero Giovanni, Francese Giovan Battista, Provera Francesco, Givrello Carlo, Lazzaro Giuseppe, Bonetti Giovanni, Ceruti Francesco, Durando Celestino clerics, for the purpose of keeping and maintaining the spirit of true charity that is necessary to the work of the oratory for orphaned and abandoned children. And to this end it has been decided to form this society on the 18th day of December in the year of our Lord, 1859.
Thus, the Salesian congregation was first formed, with 22 members and one house. Today, in 1948, there are over 16,000 members working in 1,000 houses in 48 countries. In 1872, Don Bosco founded a society of sisters, which he called the Daughters of Mary, Help of Christians. Like the Salesians, they are devoted to the welfare of young people and have had a similar phenomenal development.
Come in. Ah, it's you, Rua.
What's this, Don Bosco? Another journey?
Yes, but for once in a while, I shall not go. Do you recall? I once told you of a strange dream I'd had. There were savages in a strange, mysterious land. In the presence of our Salesians, they dropped their arms, got down on their knees, and prayed to God at the foot of a great cross.
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, there's many a month I've passed now in asking Providence to enlighten me as to the significance of this vision. Today, my prayers have at last been answered. Read this. The Argentine consul wants me to send out members of the Salesian order to Patagonia.
To Patagonia?
Out there, the word of Christ has not yet been preached. For this work, we shall need young men of courage, enthusiastic, full of faith.
I told you that I should want young men of courage, enthusiastic, full of faith. And that is why I have chosen you. I choose you, Cagliero, you, Pagnano, Cassini, Tomasi, and Aravena. You are not many, but go forward in confidence. Later, others will follow. You will be like the grain of mustard seed in the Bible, which grew into a tall tree and bore fruit.
In the footsteps of these first 11 pioneers, many other priests and nuns bore the torch of civilization to the farthest corners of the world. To show the divine approval of his work in founding congregations and launching missions, St. Don Bosco was given the gift of miracles and prophecy. His fame spread over mountains and across oceans. Foreign cities clamored to see him. But nowhere was he feted with such enthusiasm as in his own city of Turin, where he was known and loved by all, especially by the poor.
You see, without your help, Rua, I'd be unable to walk. Ah, dear Rua, you'll be working on your own very soon. I grow too old.
Now, why don't you go away for a month?
A month? For me, a real holiday is soon beginning.
No, Don Bosco.
Yes, to Don Bosco, all that remains is to make a good end. Sit down, Rua. And let us not despair. Of work and sacrifices there'll be many. But when you think, here we are, in that same little house of Pinardi, where 40 years ago today, my poor good mama, the very first time she saw it, looking anxious and disappointed, said to me, "There is a stable." And it was, you know. But she was here to aid us. To her, I prayed every morning and evening. And everything that we have done is her work. And everything that is done by you and the others after you will be her work. The oratories, the workshops, the schools, the missions will multiply year by year. You will become thousands. New cities and new countries will one day see your good works. You look at me just as someone else did 40 years ago when he thought I was mad, eh? Dear Rua, I was right. You know I was right, huh? Believe me, the key to the secret is the same for us all. Work and prayer. Work and prayer.
And so, in the modest room at Valdocco, where he had lived for many years, Don Bosco made a good end of his fruitful life on the 31st of January 1888 at 1 o'clock in the morning. The solemn tolling of the death bell changes to the joyous sound of festivity. It is Rome, Easter Sunday 1934. In the Basilica of St. Peter's, Pius XI announces to the world the glory of a new saint, St. Don Bosco. It is, one might say, a reappearance of the humble and friendly priest of Turin in a blaze of glory. On the square, filled with an immense multitude, there waves the banner of the new saint. He is there to take mankind by the hand, to raise it up towards Christ, their Redeemer.